What's up, my beautiful people? Let me get right down to it. The pastor and the Rasta. Listen, I think everybody else is afraid to speak about it, but I'm not. The pastor was out there doing God's will. The man used to be a gunman. He used to be a gangster. He used to be a bad man. He used to be a rough, tough man. He changed his life and turned his life around so that he can do the works of the Lord, so that he can change the crime, so he can uh, help people to come into the Lord if that's what they want, because everybody have a choice. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. And here comes the Rasta man with a cup of water. Didn't he say, Satan, take your position? Now here he come, letting the devil use him, and he can come with a cup of water. We don't know. How do we know he ain't peeing the cup? How did he know if it was clean or dirty water? I don't know what kind of water was in that cup. This man minded his business, doing the works of the Lord, and here come the Rasta man throwing water on him. He had no right to violate that man like that. No right at all. Whether if he was a pastor, preacher, teacher, child, adult, don't matter who it is, he had no right to violate him. And we want to go on and we want to say all kind of stuff about this preacher man, but I don't see the big pull up about the Rasta in his teaching. Is this what his teaching does? Him being a Rasta man, is this the type of demeanor and behaviors that he's supposed to have against anybody? It don't matter if it's a pastor. He's supposed to have that type of demeanor against anyone, but we're looking at the preacher. You know why we're looking at the preacher? Because anytime you go against the sins of the world, and the world is so full of sins and wrongdoing and disgust until when you speak about it, you get angry. And see, Christian folks and people of God will speak about it. And anybody else who's involved in it and doing it gets very angry. So this is why ministers and people of God are being attacked so much. Now, the Bible says that we're supposed to follow the laws of the land. The laws of the land give everybody rights. So you don't have the right to violate someone. You don't have the right to attack someone. You don't have that right. And we're supposed to have equal justice, not because he's a pastor, because he's a human being and he was violated. Somebody came and threw some water on him while he was preaching. That was his right. He wasn't breaking no laws. That was his right. And then at the end, they had it where because he's a pastor or because he's a Christian or because he's a man of God, where he had to go and make amends with this Rastafarian. Make amends what? This man should have apologized to the pastor because this pastor was not bothering anybody breaking any laws. He should not have done it. I felt like that was a violation. You don't have to defend who you are and what you're doing. If you aren't bothering anybody, you're minding your business, not breaking any laws, he should not have to make amends. But that sin that occurred, that wrongdoing that occurred, that's where the apology and the amends should have happened. Now we got to turn this thing around in the world. We got to turn it around because God's people out here doing the works of the Lord, minding their business. This is how I look at it. If you don't like it, go on about your business. If you don't want to be a part of it, go on about your business like everybody else does about everything else. If you don't like it, go on about your business. If you don't want to choose God, if you don't want to choose righteousness, because you do have a choice to choose, because even Jesus said himself, choose ye this day. What he's saying is make a choice. Make a choice. It's your choice. Nobody's going to force you because nobody can't force you. Nobody's going to make you do anything. Nobody can't make you. It is your choice. And if you don't choose, go on about your business. People of God only try to lead you to righteousness. People of God try to lead you to righteousness. We can't make you drink. We can't make you turn over. We can't make you accept God. We cannot make you make the choice. We only lead you there. We only open you up to God. We only open you up to the good news. We only open you up to righteousness. But we do not make anybody do anything. So if you don't like it, go on about your business, but do not violate men and women of God out there trying to do the works of the Lord. You violate Jehovah's Witnesses. You violate anybody who is of righteousness, trying to turn the world into a better place than what it is. The violation comes because when you step on people's toes, what you do is you tell people about their fornication, how they out there sleeping with every man, woman, boy, child under the sun. They get mad because you talk about the things that the nastiness that they're doing in the world, and folk don't like it. Because it has become a chain reaction. Because a lot of people are doing it. Even people who saying that they're righteous are doing it. That's the problem. That's where the anger come in. That's where the issues come in at. Because folk don't like to get their toes stepped on. But you got to remember, what you do to a true man or woman of God, you're doing it to the Lord. And you better be very careful, because the wrath of God will fall on you. And when you violate a man and woman of God out there doing the works of the Lord, you are violating him. You are violating him. So be careful what you do. I bless God that they made amends. I bless God that they made amends, because that Rasta man would have been very, very, very much in trouble with God. Not the pastor or the preacher, but he would have been very, very much in trouble with God for violating that man while he was out there preaching, trying to get the word out there of who God is, trying to suppress the devil out there in the streets, because the spirit of the devil is just roaming around in people, and this world is being destroyed and turned upside down. Upside down. Rasta man lucky that's all he got. He lucky. He lucky that's all he got. He lucky that's all he got. Leave people alone. Leave people alone. And that should be a word that goes out there. Don't bother people who are not bothering you. Don't violate people who are not violating you. If you don't want to listen to the man or woman of God, if you don't want to accept what they're representing, then just go on about your business. Go on about your business. Let God be God. Let the Spirit of the Lord work in his people for those who want to accept him and accept righteousness and accept living right and believe in God and believe in his will and his precept. Those who want to listen, those who want to change, those who want to embrace it, let them embrace it. For those who don't, go on about your business. Go ahead. It's time out for men and women of God not to speak their minds and speak the truth. Jesus Christ himself was radical. I say it all the time. Jesus Christ himself was radical. He was radical. He said some things. You don't remember when he called folk a den of thieves, a generation of vipers? You don't remember some of the things that he said in the Bible about folk when he got angry? Please. Nah, you don't have the right to attack a man or woman of God doing the works of the Lord. Y'all be blessed and have a good day.